Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us. My name is Jason Cogdell. I'm a benefits attorney with ProBenefits, and on behalf of our team, we appreciate your time this afternoon as we do an introduction to our new COBRA platform that we are releasing soon, and we're excited to bring to you, as part of our continued commitment to excellence, to bring you the best platform and tools that we can for our services, including COBRA administration, which is a big part of our business and, frankly, a big deal. I want to share with you the voices that you'll hear on the session today that are with me. First of all, Julie Blink, who's our Vice President of Administration. Also with us, Mary Ann Johnston, who's one of our account managers and is also leading our transition efforts as we move to this new COBRA system in coming weeks. Also, Amy Stark is our demo expert and will be in just a moment demoing for you the new employer and consumer portals for COBRA. So I hope that you'll find this helpful. Our goal is to make this efficient in terms of time, and for sure know that your questions matter to us. You've got several options here. First, you can submit your question through the control panel, and we're going to answer as many of those as we can during the session or immediately after today. Any questions that you think of now or later, feel free to submit to COBRA at ProBenefits.com, which is a shared box that's monitored all day, every day. And then also, if you want to talk to Mary Ann or Julie or somebody on our team, we'll be happy to talk to you by phone as well. In terms of the couple of quick goals that we have for today, first, just kind of a refresher on why we're doing this and the importance of COBRA compliance in the modern environment where we are. As I mentioned, demoing the new portals, that you'll get a first advance look at these even weeks in advance before you need to know how to use them. So this is really just an introductory look to let you see them, to gain some initial familiarity and comfort as we plan to learn more about those in coming weeks. And we'll also give you a brief overview of the transition process as we go through this and figure out how best to serve you in moving to the new COBRA portal as part of our plan that we started. I think last year we launched this process. Many of you are aware that earlier in the year we moved to a new platform for our consumer-driven accounts, FSA, HRA, HSA, and we've had a lot of success with those platforms. We're getting a lot of good feedback about the employer and the consumer experience on those portals. And because COBRA is a big part of our business and is very important to us because it's very important to employers and advisors, we've carried the same goals through for a new COBRA portal that we had for the consumer-driven health accounts, and that is to find the best portal that we can find to maximize the experience both for employers and individuals, in this case, qualified beneficiaries and COBRA participants that will be using the portals. We believe that the new portal gives us more tools, gives us a platform that is reliable and effective and efficient, and we think that our service to you will be elevated as a result. So because of those reasons and others, we're excited to bring you this portal. A word of context from a compliance standpoint, and admittedly from a compliance geek who is very concerned about COBRA, and I'm not the only member of our compliance team that works on COBRA. There are 3 of us in addition to our COBRA account management and tech staff. But our perspective is this: COBRA is a big deal, not because the law has changed recently, but simply because the era of compliance continues. That era was probably ushered in by the Affordable Care Act in 2010, but for many reasons, you and I know the world around us has changed in a lot of ways, and compliance certainly feels like it's more important now than it was a decade ago. As it relates to COBRA, there's a strong COBRA compliance focus of the Department of Labor, which oversees COBRA from a federal perspective, and because the more compliance issues that come up, the more audits there are of group health plans, the more COBRA is brought into the forefront. It's just important. There's no other way around it other than to say it's important for employers to follow the rules and get it right. And in past, COBRA might not have been at the top of someone's compliance list. Some employers may have tried to do this themselves. Those days are long gone. And so we see our role as a COBRA service provider for employers to help the employer make sure things are done timely, things are done right, the rules are followed. That's what we think our role is for COBRA. Now, COBRA involves several things, and we're going to look at some, when we look at the portals, some of the mechanics of COBRA on an overview basis. But just as a refresher, the key elements of COBRA have not changed, and these are the things we consider an important part of our role as a plan service provider and outside administrator. Number one, when coverage is lost for an individual in a COBRA eligible benefit, that loss of coverage has to be reported. We have to know that there is a loss of coverage so that the required notices can be generated and mailed. Some of you may know there's 7 different categories of required notices, but monitoring losses of coverage, sending notices, proving the mailing of those notices is a big part of what we do as a COBRA administrator. We also communicate with qualified beneficiaries, not only about what the premium is and when it's due, but any questions that may arise. For example, how long does COBRA last for that individual? Could it be a disability situation or a multiple qualifying event situation? Communicating with the qualified beneficiaries is a big deal and one of our responsibilities. Billing the COBRA premiums, remitting it to the employer is an important part of our administrative responsibility and something that we take seriously. And also handling issues and appeals that come up. Sometimes issues are simple. Questions about coverage, questions about coverage changes, questions about options from the qualified beneficiaries. And more often than not, employers experience appeals. Someone's coverage has been terminated for failure to pay, or there's been a request for an extension of coverage that's been denied. And handling those appeals is a big part of what our team does and a big focus of our compliance department. So we could try to make COBRA complicated. What we want to do instead is simplify it down to the basic requirements, what's important, what the employer has to do, what we can do to assist the employer. And I think that puts in perspective, the reason to find the best COBRA system and to partner with you, employers and advisors, to make sure we know the rules, which we do, and that we can help facilitate the ease of use for the employer in reporting terminations and losses coverage, and to make sure we handle the notices and premium billings and other steps. So I could go on about that. In fact, we will go on about that at our September client webinar when we're going to focus on COBRA compliance and what employers need to know right now. But for purposes of today, I just wanted to paint that picture as a word of context and in preparation as we look forward to see what these portals look like. At this time, I'm going to welcome in Amy, and Amy's going to take us through the 2 portals, one for the employer and one for the participants. Amy.
Great, thank you. Let me just get my screen up here. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and take you in and do a quick demo of the member portal experience. So with the member portal, all of your COBRA continuants will have the ability to use the COBRA member portal to do a couple different things. The first thing is when they do receive that COBRA specific rights notice, they will receive information on how to log into the portal, and they do have the ability to make their COBRA elections directly in the portal. So that's one thing that they can do. Here, the COBRA member that I'm using for the demo today, as you can see, Stacy, has already elected her COBRA. So from the homepage here, you can see it's very easy for her to make her payments. She can do a one-time payment using a credit or debit card, as well as a ACH from a credit or checking account, as well as she has the ability to set up a recurring payment. Just going to show you the recurring payments, because one of the great things about the system is that it actually allows the individual to choose their payment date, just making it very easy for them to set up those recurring payments, as well as then, just like any of your traditional online shopping experiences, then it will show them, take them through the steps to enter in their payment information. So again, easy way for them to make those payments. Additionally, from the homepage, they can view their product selections. So here they'll be able to see the coverages that they have elected. It will show them their coverage level as well as any of their premium amounts. And then the system does have the ability to show any of the subsidies as well. Additionally, under the payment information, we do have a great visual of their payment schedule. So here they will have the ability to see their payments month by month. They can see the months that they have paid as well as any upcoming months. And again, as I mentioned, if there's any subsidies that are taken into account, those will be visible here in the graphs as well. Via the preferences page, they will have the ability to sign up to receive any of the non-required notices to be sent via email. So some examples of the non-required notices would be any late payment reminders, partial payment notices, things of that nature. So if they'd like to receive those via email, they can simply enter their email address and then save that information. So those communications will be sent by email. Again, from a compliance perspective, I'm sure Jason is smiling right now. ProBenefits will send out all of the required notices via United States Postal Service to ensure all the tracking and all of the communications will be date and time stamped to ensure the compliance. Additionally, members will have the ability to access their communications that they've received from ProBenefits. So here you can see all of the different communications that Stacy has received. All of these communications are viewable here via the hyperlink. This is a great benefit. So in the example of my husband who's been offered COBRA before, it was great. I could just come out here, print out the notice and the coupons, etc., without having to dig for those files. Additionally, here in the communication, it will indicate if that communication has been sent via email, if that communication was emailed. So that's kind of a very quick overview of the member portal here. Do we want to take questions or should I continue on into the employer?
I think it's fine just to keep on going to the employer, Amy.
Okay, wonderful. Let me just get that up here. I think it timed out on me, so I'm gonna pull it up. Oh, so the employer portal is going to provide you with some very robust tools that allow you to track all of your COBRA members' details, as well as you'll have the ability to view some online reports that are available in a variety of formats that just make it easy from an administration perspective. So you'll receive your credentials to the employer portal. You'll notice from the homepage here, I have it kind of blown up just for viewing purposes, but you'll be able to, from the homepage here, you can quickly and easily find a member, as well as if you're entering those members in to the system, you can do that here directly from the homepage. You'll notice over on the left-hand side, you'll find your navigation, very similar to the member portal. And as you can see, the first option here is account. This is just where you're going to find information related to your COBRA plans, bundles, etc. So here, if you want to see what plans are offered or what plans you have in the system for COBRA, you can view those here. All of these hyperlinks allow you to click in and get additional details. So if you want to see the rate information, you can simply click there to view any of the rates for those COBRAs. Additionally, if you have any divisions for your group, you can view all of your divisional information. So think of the account section as just a summary of your COBRA plans and details. Under the member section, we provide you with a full transparency into your members' data. So you can search for a member by any of those search criteria above. One of the great things that I love is that you don't need to worry about spelling an individual's name exactly right. So if you're like me and you can't remember, is it an ER or an OR, you can just type in the first couple letters and it will pull up anybody that matches those criteria. So a great benefit. Once you find your member, then again, over on the left-hand side, you'll see the information, but this just gives you visibility into a specific member's information. So if you want to see the plans that they have for COBRA, you'll be able to see all of that information here, including their start-in date, coverage level, as well as if you want to look up any of the payments that we've received, you'll be able to view all of that data here as well at a member level. One of the things that employers love about the system is, again, that complete transparency, and even allows them to view the communications that have been sent. So here you will be able to see those communications, and you can pull up an exact copy of the one that they were provided, and you'll notice all of them have that date and time stamp to provide you with that audit trail. Next, I'd like to talk a little bit about the reporting capabilities. So through the COBRA system, you'll find a lot of robust reporting that is available. So here we have the reports broken down into 2 buckets: accounting reports, which are going to include things like your monthly remittance report. If there's any subsidies that we have for any of your individuals, you'll be able to view that information, as well as then we have some of the more standard reports. So these would be reports that you would pull to get information related to your members. So maybe you want to do a member status report to find out the status of members. Are they pending their COBRA enrollment? Are they enrolled? Have they terminated for whatever reason? So here you could pull that report. And as you'll notice here, there's a lot of flexibility in terms of the format, just allowing you to use that data as you need to. So you have the ability to get a CSV file, which will allow you then the ability to sort and filter, etc. Once you run the report, then the report will be available for you, and you also have the ability to schedule those reports. So maybe you want to check a member status report on a monthly basis. You can schedule that to be available the first Friday of every month or on the schedule that you choose. So this is a great way, again, to view that information on a more aggregate level. Additionally, the system allows you the ability to import any of your information. So if you're doing that, you do have the ability to import the information here. And then we just have a couple additional help information. So recent activity, this is a great way to just pull up maybe somebody you accessed earlier, you maybe got interrupted and you want to now come back in and look at that person's information here. You can just quickly and easily reference that. And then the final feature that I love and still use today as a system expert is our unique and easy to use Google-like help feature. So here you can simply just type in some information that you're looking to find out a little bit more about. So maybe you're interested in the reporting capabilities, and you just want to take a look and maybe see a sample of the member report. So here you can, as you can see, click through, and once you find that member report, here you can see a sample of that, as well as it provides you with information on how to run the report. So again, just a lot of help that is available here for you online very easily. So that's kind of a very quick overview of the employer portal. Again, very easy to use, a lot of robust information right here at your fingertips.
Okay.
Outstanding, Amy. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Amy. I think what you've shown us is it kind of confirms and affirms our decision to move COBRA platforms, the ease of use, the enhanced experience for both the employer and the consumer. I think we've seen this afternoon, so thank you. Just to finish up, a couple of reminders. Mid-September is when we will make the change, and there is more information coming. I know everyone got or should have received information around the middle of August of some key dates to come, and there'll be more information when we come on our more firm deadline of when we will stop using the current COBRA system and go to the new COBRA system. So you will receive your credentials to log in as an employer for that. I think Mary Ann's going to tell us a little bit about some consumer of what they can expect.
So COBRA participants will receive a transition letter as well as new coupons, which will tell them how they can make a payment and where to make the payments. Any payments or election notices that we receive at the old lockbox address or in-house will process like normal, and we will continue to send out reminders to those people to let them know where to start sending payments, but we will continue to process anything that's sent in to any old addresses.
So watch for notifications. Remember, submit your questions on the webinar today. We'll be getting those answers back to you as quickly as possible. And if you have any other questions, COBRA@ProBenefits.com is a great place to send your questions to, or you can reach out to us directly. We look forward to working with you and using this new platform.
Thanks, Julie and team, and thank you all for your time today. One question submitted, will this session be recorded in case you've got a team member, colleague that may benefit from it? And the answer is yes, we'll make a recording available to you. We've gotten to a number of the written questions submitted, and we'll continue to do that in the next few minutes. So if you submitted a question that you haven't seen an answer to yet, just hang around for a few minutes. We'll try to get that taken care of. But feel free to, again, send us an email or call us anytime. This, because it's our regular monthly client webinar, has been open to our entire client base of both employers and advisors. So if you're someone who's been on the session today just out of interest in what our COBRA system looks like, but we're not currently doing COBRA for you, we'd love to do so. We work with employers ranging from 20 to 10,000, and we do COBRA in 50 states, and we're happy to work with your organization regarding COBRA. We've got a talented group of individuals like these that you've heard from today that work with us, and also 3 legal professionals backing up our COBRA compliance team. So our goal is excellence in COBRA administration and support, and that's the reason for making the change to the portal. And we're going to continue to work hard to make this transition as smooth as possible, and also do the best we can to help you. Again, thanks for your time. Hang around if you've got questions, and otherwise, thanks for joining us, and we'll be in touch soon. Have a good afternoon.